So, a little bit of water right here coming in. I just stuffed some rags up there. We've been out of the van all day, been babysitting the grandkids, and it's been raining real hard all day. Now, this has never leaked before. We have never gotten water in here before. I came back and the comforter that goes on my son's bed had a big wet spot on it. I'm thinking, uh-oh, what the heck? And it's leaking in from right up around in there. Maybe you can see it a little bit up in there. I gotta find another washcloth, another rag to shove up into that space. It's never leaked before, never. So all I could think of was that maybe the last time I had the door open, I didn't close it tight enough, so I just opened it and slammed it real hard. Slammed both of them real hard. So they're closed as tight as they can get. And, oh, look, it got down behind. It got down behind the plastic. That might be condensation, but it wasn't condensation that dripped on his comforter. I've taken the comforter off. He's not going to need it because 2 sleeping bags will keep him really warm. But that's a mystery. I'll have to keep an eye on that and see what happens next time it rains, but it has never leaked before. Strange that it should do so now. Greetings, Voyagers. So I have a leak. I think that nor'easter last weekend, a week ago, the first one, not the second one, with all the high winds, must have put some stress on the roof vent because it's leaking. Not real bad, but any leak is a bad leak, no matter how small. So I went and got another tube of that self-leveling sealant from Home Depot. It was only about $8. And I slathered it all around up here. There was some, oh God, I just got some of that stuff on my elbow. Where'd I put that rag? Well, anyway, there was also some water leaking in up around here. And, up around in here. And I don't know why that would be. But I think the brake light up here, this other red light up here, may have been leaking in around the edges because it was pretty worn. You can see down around the edges the gasket looked pretty corroded. I didn't take it off. I wasn't going to bother. I'm not going to be in this van for more than another 4 or 5 months, so I'm not going to go to any great lengths to rehab it. But I did put some of that sealant around here. Now I have to go in and I have to take down some of this insulation off the ceiling because even down to there's that metal beam that goes across there. There was water over there, so it may have come in through the vent and started migrating, underneath the insulation. So I'm going to have to take down some of this insulation, dry it out, see what's going on under there, patch whatever I need to patch, put it back up again. So I'm having some fun today, aren't I? And then this stuff here, this plastic all came loose. Sometimes van dwellers, some of these van dwelling channels, they don't always give the best advice. A lot of people were recommending putting the insulation up with a spray glue, a 3M spray glue. That spray glue cost $10 a can, and you know what? It never worked. I'd spray that stuff up. I'd stick the insulation up, and at some point later it would fall down. The glue would fail. So $10 for a useless can of spray glue. You're just going to have to try and navigate your own way through these problems and find out what works and what doesn't on your own. You can't always depend on what these van dwellers are telling you. And you're probably not going to believe me what I'm saying right now, but that's my experience. So I'm going to get in there and do some work in the ceiling, and then I'll get back to you. Well, as you can see, we have water. Yeah. Yes, indeed. We have water that came in, obviously through the vent, and it migrated a little ways. And I suppose, depending on the tilt of the vehicle, that is, if it was tilted downhill, oops, it probably made some of that water go forward and some of it go backward and to the side and whatever. So I'm going to wipe it up, dry it off, because I think, that is to say, I hope I have patched the leak in the roof around the vent fan. Yeah, the water in there. Ooh, little drop just came down and landed on my lip. So, yeah, all the way up in here. I'm gonna have to take down a big chunk of this insulation in the ceiling. So I can dry up all that water back there. And there's water up in here too. So it obviously came in around the vent. My thinking is that because the winds were so high, so strong, that it pushed against the housing on the vent up here and weakened that seal. And it only takes a tiny crack for water to get in, especially when it was raining as hard as it was. And hopefully I've corrected that. We shall see, because today is Saturday, and we have another storm coming in on Tuesday. Stormy Tuesday. There's a song called Stormy Tuesday. Maybe it's Stormy Monday. I don't know. Maybe it's Stormy Daniels. Okay, not going to get political here. So I got some work to do, and I'll get back to you. Well, I did the patching on the roof. I pulled the insulation down and dried up all the water in there and put it all back up. And I'm hoping it's fixed, but I will find out soon enough, because tomorrow night we're getting another major storm. This will be the third major storm in just 11 days. We're supposed to get from 6 to 18 inches of snow and winds up to 50 miles per hour. So it'll be a real test. It's going to start out as rain and then switch over to snow. So it'll be a real test, all right, of my patching skills. We'll see whether this thing leaks. I hope not. But I'll check back in with you tomorrow night when the storm begins to rage. Peace out for now. Greetings, Voyagers. Well, another nor'easter is about to come blowing in. It's Monday afternoon. It's around 3:30, 4 o'clock. By around 10 o'clock tonight, the snow's supposed to come in. Another nor'easter with hurricane force winds up to 55 miles per hour. That's what we had the last time. And that's what I think caused damage to my roof vent. Now, you'll notice that I'm parked facing out. Ordinarily in a snowstorm, I park facing in because it's a two-wheel drive vehicle and it's rear-wheel drive. So I need my rear wheels, my driving wheels, to be as close to the street as possible, so I don't have to try and get across 12 feet of snow with my drive wheels just to get out to the street. So, but I'm not doing that this time because the roof vent. I'm almost certain that the damage, that my roof leak was caused by the high winds that were blowing against my max fan roof vent up there. You know, 55-mile-an-hour winds, it can put a lot of pressure on something. And I think it loosened it. I think it pulled on it hard enough so that it broke the seal up there, put a little, it only takes a little crack, and I think that's what happened. So this is a nor'easter, which means the winds are going to blow in from the northeast, which is straight out that way. Wind's going to be blowing straight in this way. If you notice the design on the max vent fan, it's designed to keep rain out so that you can keep your vent open without letting the rain out, so you can ventilate your fan in the rain, which makes sense. But you'll notice that little overhang in the back there. When that's facing directly into the wind is going to get underneath that lip, that edge, and push up on it. So I don't want the wind coming straight in and pushing up against my fan, my vent cover there. So I'm parked up against the wall. The wind is going to be coming in this way, and it should aerodynamically just flow straight over the van, straight over the roof vent. And hopefully I won't suffer any more damage from the wind. And it's right up against the wall, so there's no wind that's going to be blowing back at it this way. There may be some eddies, you know, as the wind circulates around in the back, but it's not going to take the full force of a nor'easter at 55 miles an hour. So hopefully that'll save me this time. We shall see. The fun begins in about 7 hours. I won't be able to post any videos. Once the storm begins, I won't be able to post anything until after the storm is over. So this is the last little check-in before the storm, and we'll see what happens, and we'll check in with you again later.